Hey guys, Scotty Z. Uh, People have been asking me, where are you? What's going on? Is everything okay? I've been very quiet the last couple of weeks. The reality is, 2 weeks ago, I sat an ayahuasca ceremony, two ayahuasca ceremonies back to back. It's a plant medicine from the Amazon jungle that's been used by the traditional people for thousands of years, we believe. It contains a compound called dimethyltryptamine, DMT. It's known as the spirit molecule. It's cooked for 8 hours. It's a vine and a leaf. I won't go into the details. And then you drink it. You only have a little tiny little shot glass of it. And then you've got about 6 hours of just connecting with the divine and going through a lot of darkness too. It was my 23rd and 24th ceremonies. I worked out six different shamans over the last 6 years in four different countries. So yeah, I've done, I don't know, a lot, a little. I've done enough. And this ceremony was massive for me. It was huge. It was the biggest ceremonies that I've done, and I'm still processing so much, so many changes. One of the biggest things was, well, a couple of things came out of it. One was I've been carrying around a shield. You imagine my right arm. I've got a big shield, and I've been carrying this shield as a defense. This shield is known as my ego, and I've been hiding behind this shield and using this shield to deflect people who have been trying to attack me. And my whole life, I have been attacked because I am who I am. I am my own man. I will not be told to be anybody else by anybody else. And a lot of people don't like that, especially in Australia. And so my whole life, I've copped a lot of shit just for being myself. And I refuse to be anybody else. So I've carried this shield as like a defense against all of the people that want to try and change me. Mum, dad, family, aunties, uncles, and then the wider community, friends, teachers, mentors, people on the fucking highway driving down the road, and they're yelling at you from the window because they want you to do something different than what you're doing. Like, just the whole society is very, very sick. And I've carried a shield around, but it's been holding me back from opening my heart. And one of the biggest things that I found was, not only am I holding my heart closed here, but my whole back is like closed down. And a big part of the ayahuasca ceremony, all of them, and a lot of work that I've done over so many years has been about just opening my heart. But I realized in that ceremony that I'm almost at a stage where I can let go of the shield completely. It's like the shield has gone from this big tower shield to this like tiny little buckler. And I've got this tiny little shield of ego, and that I can, I'm almost ready to let it go. And then as we move into the eco village, and the people there are much more accepting of differences, that I can just be myself, and I can finally let go of the ego defense mechanism, and just be myself. So that's been really big to process over the last couple of weeks, just this final surrendering. A big thing came up for me about letting go. On the second night, I had a very, very intense process of letting go of any control, any need for life to be a certain way, for it to be how I believe it should be or how I want it to be. And that's been very, very difficult. And it's been, again, a process over so many years, not only the 6 years of doing the ayahuasca medicine, but so many years before that of spiritual development. And if you're on this journey with me, then you know what that's all about, that letting go, that moving into trust. And that's been coming up a lot in the last couple of weeks, of just letting go of the number one thing, which is a fear around money and not having enough resources to do things. And I look at my past and I've always had enough. But now letting go of even this idea of it having to be a certain monetary value, or having to it be any way whatsoever, and just really falling into the trust of, I will be internally inspired to take action, and I love to do what I love to do, and I'm just going to do what I love to do, and the money will come as a result of that. And so really just the last couple of weeks has been just accepting that I can't force myself to do anything, that I just have to do what feels right for me, which is completely counter to the entrepreneur, hustle, business, busyness. It's called business, busyness, to be busy all the time doing stuff. And I've just been completely letting go to further, because I've been living this for a while, but really letting, and I told my wife, like, she's like, well, we need to get some more money to buy a new car. And I'm like, yeah, I know, because we've only got one car and it's actually not a great car. We've got to get a better car. Okay, no problems. But I told her, I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to stress about the money. And it just feels so good to just like put that boundary to her as well and just be like, don't put your stress on me. I'm not going to feel your fear. I'm just going to live my reality. So that's been really big. There's so many things that I want to go into, but I'll keep this short. I'm transforming. Another layer of letting go, another layer of surrender, another layer of trusting that everything is perfect. Because I look at the world, here's a piece for you. I look at the world right now, and I was just having a very long hot shower. I just jumped out of the shower, and just thinking like, I know what's coming. Like we don't know particularly exactly what's coming, right? But I know that it's going to get harder. I know that there's probably going to be 100%, there's going to be a financial collapse that is designed to usher in this great reset, and it's going to get very difficult for people. They're already talking. President Biden's got on TV and said there will be food shortages. Like it's going to get really hard for people, and I feel so much for people. But I was in the shower, and I've got this strategy, this plan of building out our home in the eco village. We've got community, we've got land. I've got 3 acres of pristine land and more on the cards that we're going to get. 200 families growing food. It's a 20-year established community. Abundant water, abundant food. I'm building a greenhouse. That's my vision. I've got this like vision of what I need to do. I'm going to build the house. It's a solar house with a wood fire in the middle. Like I can be completely off grid. A big solar greenhouse that I can heat with the sun and grow food, like probably 10 months of the year here. So like I've got this strategy, and part of me, I was in the shower like, am I supposed to like be getting stressed out right now about like making this happen? Because I feel that we've got probably about 18 months to 2 years. I'd say by the start of 2025, the winter of 2024, which is 18 months away, 20 months away, it's going to happen. It's going to be difficult. That winter will be difficult for people. I think this coming winter will be fine. The winter after that, look, it's real in the north. You know, if you're in Australia and you're like, winter, like here in the north, if you don't have gas, which is what's going on politically right now with Europe and Russia and America, if you don't have gas, you got a problem. If you don't have fertilizer, you're not growing food. And it's fine in summer because you can grow, but in winter, you got 5 months a year. You can't do anything. You can't grow anything unless you have a deep winter greenhouse, which is what I'm building. But like, it's going to get hard for people, very, very difficult. You can't heat your house. People die. So I'm looking at this saying, okay, I've got a plan. I've got a strategy that I'm rolling out for my family. And I want to share that with as many people as I can, with you. Well, not as many people as I can. I want to share that with people that are willing to listen. Right? I'm letting go of this idea that I have to reach millions of people. I don't want to reach millions of people. I just want to reach those few thousand people that feel the way that I feel and that I can support and guide to hunker down and to grow food and to build community and to embrace this spiritual awakening. But the point of my story is, am I supposed to be getting stressed out right now because I know what's coming and I've only got a short window and like quickly hurry and stress and I've got to make lots of money and I've got to build this stuff and the more money I've got, the faster I can build it. But really inside me, I'm like, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to stress. I don't want to feel fear. The fear is the game. There's fear and there's trust. I'm surrendering to trusting that this is all divinely orchestrated and perfect, rather than playing the same game that's being used against me, feeding into the fear and go, oh, quick, I gotta hustle, I gotta stress, I gotta have all this fear and build all this stuff quickly. Oh, hunker down. I think that's defeating the purpose of why I'm alive right now. I feel that I'm actually alive to completely surrender. And you're probably like, whatever, but this is what I feel. I feel I'm here to surrender in just complete trust of the Tao, the river of life that is guiding me perfectly, and just to come into harmony with that perfect divine flow, knowing that this is all happening and to embrace it as in an acceptance of this is what life is meant to be right now, to help me for my benefit. Rather than it being used against me, it's actually for my benefit. And not to fight against it, but to surrender to it and flow with it. While having my strategy, like I'm growing food, I'm building community, I'm supporting people and helping other people. Like I'm doing everything that I feel is necessary, and I'm coming from a place of love, not fear. I'm coming from a place of trust and surrender, not control and concern. Right? There's a different energy about me. And it's been it's not like I did ayahuasca 2 weeks ago and all of a sudden I'm in this phase. Like this has been a gradual process for me over many, many years and even decades. But I'm feeling closer to this full surrender. So that's where I'm at. I wanted to make a video just because I've been a very, very quiet man over here and just let you know that I love you. We are love. You're me, I am you. We're like fingers on a hand, cells in an organism. We're in this together. And we can get through this without buying into the fear. I'm keeping an eye on what's happening, of course, with Russia, with the Great Reset, with the vaccines and COVID and everything that's being pushed on us. I'm always keeping an eye, but I'm watching it more like coming from an objective place, like, that's very interesting, rather than like getting stressed about it. I'm just watching, okay, I wonder what's going to happen next. And I feel a lot better about it. I'm going to start a fire, I'm going to relax, and I'm going to just have a lovely afternoon. And I'm just going to feel more into this process of love and surrender. Maybe you want to join me. I love you heaps. I'll see you soon. If this resonates, as always, share it, leave me a comment. I love to read them, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.